collection along the Mexican border focused on German activities in Mexico, performing intercept and direction finding using radio tractor units, RTUs. Sergeant Richard S. Egolf at receiving position of Radio Tractor Unit number 33 in McAllen, Texas, 1918 to 1919. Soldiers on the Russian front picking up wireless communications of the Russians. Soldier on the Western Front picking up wireless communications. The Signal Corps front lines included radio outfits as well as pigeon carriers to transmit communications. A soldier prepares a pigeon with message for flight. Map depicting how pigeons were tracked on the front lines that were carrying messages. Soldiers on the front lines prepare a pigeon with message for flight. Telephone operators at Barracks Number 66, Tours, France. Telephones helped establish a reliable intercommunication network to unify and connect all Army commands. Signal Corps telephone operators arrived for hello duty in Paris in March 1918. They would serve in operating units in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Army headquarters. General Dwight D. Eisenhower visits Arlington Hall Station, headquarters of the U.S. Army Signal Intelligence Service, a World War II precursor to NSA, in February 1946. African Americans, despite official segregation policies in federal and state governments, were part of the cryptologic effort. Women's roles in World War II were varied, including performing technical repairs for the U.S. Army's Signal Intelligence Service, an NSA predecessor. The Women's Army Auxiliary Corps was established May 15, 1942. Women who joined the military filled non-combatant positions vacated by men assigned to combat duty. Women traveled to the nation's capital to work at Arlington Hall Station, headquarters of the U.S. Army's Signal Intelligence Service, a World War II precursor to NSA. The Marines used radio equipment to stay in constant communication with fighter planes. Engineers working with the Army Security Agency, an NSA predecessor, recovered Nazi government cryptologic records from a lake in Bavaria, Germany, near World War II's end. The Enigma, an electromechanical rotor machine, was used by all German military services during World War II to encrypt and decrypt communications. The bomb was an electromechanical device that determined the rotor settings used on the Enigma, which was the key step in breaking the Enigma code. JN-25 was the designation for the Japanese naval code introduced in 1941. The U.S. Navy broke the code in early 1942. Private Preston Toledo left, and Private Frank Toledo, cousins and Navajo code talkers attached to a Marine artillery regiment in the South Pacific, used native language to send and receive messages. The women at Arlington Hall Station learned top-secret cryptography operations and assisted in wartime efforts. Cryptanalytic bombs helped break German messages enciphered on the Enigma. This bomb was operated by Navy Waves, women accepted for volunteer emergency service. The most ambitious revamping of the American bomb, designed by Joseph Desch, was the bulldozer, which was used to identify German plain language. Rattler, one of the most advanced electronic SIGINT machines of World War II, was used to decipher enemy messages and break Japanese cipher machine systems. Topaz was used to break JN-11, the Japanese Navy Merchant Marine super-enciphered code system. This was important because JN-11 could be read when other codes were unreadable. Codenamed Purple, the Type B cipher machine was used by the Japanese Foreign Office to encrypt sensitive diplomatic traffic. Two Purple analysts working to decrypt Japanese traffic. Navajo Indians attached to the 1st Marine Division in the Southwest Pacific, studying a night problem at the Amphibious Scout School conducted by the Intelligence Section. Two Marine Navajo code talkers, Henry Baugh and George Kirk, kept U.S. tactical communications invulnerable to enemy eavesdroppers through encryption and decryption of codes on the battlefield. Recording bench and turntables for making encryption records. The records were used as part of the Sig Sally secure voice system. Sig Sally was a highly successful secure digital voice communications system used at high organizational levels in World War II to give great advantages to the Allies. The American codebreakers of the David Charles Unit, September 1944 in Montgennes, France. Menet Sagaba Workbench, an electromechanical system of rotors used for message encryption and considered the most secure cipher machine of World War II. Battle of Midway, June 4th to 7th, 1942. American cryptographers were able to determine the date and location of the planned attack, enabling the forewarned U.S. Navy to prepare its own ambush. U.S. Army personnel from the 328th Communications Reconnaissance Company monitor North Korean military communications. The Air Force Security Service, AFSS, used C-47s to help intercept pilot instructions from North Korea, China, and the Soviet Union. AFSS forwarded this information in real time. C-47 aircraft performed intercept operations, collecting enemy aircraft communications during the Korean War. The inside of the aircraft was modified to perform airborne collection. Two South Korean radio intercept units were attached to American forces. The 15th Radio Squadron, Mobile, was one of several units processing intercepted signals collection from the Air Force Security Service before supplying the intelligence to combat aircraft. During the Korean War, American strategic-level communications remained safe from the enemy due largely to dependable, tactical secure communication tools such as the M204. Tactical SIGINT in action. North of the Chongchon River, a weapons squad leader points out a North Korean position to his machine gun crew. The Air Force Security Service co-located a collection unit near the front lines to provide information quickly to operational controllers to convert intelligence to radar terminology. Richard Chun, pictured, and Yeon P. Kim were the only Korean linguists available to the Army Security Agency until mid-1951, when more linguists could be trained and deployed. Non-Morse search personnel in Kyoto, Japan. Military training in Kyoto, Japan. U.S. Army Radio Intercept. An innovation in comment production, Low-Level Intercept was one of the foremost tactical intelligence producers for the U.S. military. Most ASA trucks and radio receivers were World War II vintage. Members of the U.S. Army's 121st Signal Battalion, 1st Infantry Division, operate the switchboard at Haley's Site, a signals facility in Lai Khe, Vietnam. U.S. Army soldiers at the Long Binh Post training facility in Vietnam learn how the AN/TRC-11 microwave communications antenna supports U.S. communications. U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Norman Whitefield sits at the master console in Phu Lam, Vietnam, to monitor the defense satellite communications system, making secure calls back to the U.S. David Gaddy left, and Jean Raymond, on temporary duty in 1967. Raymond is believed to be the first female NSA civilian sent to serve in Vietnam for a signals intelligence mission. A U.S. Air Force crew prepares for flight in Vietnam. The information collected during these flights helped military leadership make informed decisions during the conflict. NSA civilian and military personnel work on a 1960s computer system to process signals intelligence, known as SIGINT, during the Vietnam War. South Vietnamese helicopter pilots partnered closely with the U.S. military on cryptologic missions. Sergeant First Class Richard Wilkerson, an Army platoon sergeant, sends orders to squad leaders, while radio telephone operator specialist Kenneth Manley transmits encrypted messages during Operation Pershing. Remote intercept systems like the Explorer kept soldiers out of direct battle while collecting pertinent information. Advanced manual Morse intercept trainee sitting at his position under controlled conditions in Saigon. Communications in the field included short-range direction finding, left, as well as more practical solutions such as the Nestor radio set. On June 3, 1967, the U.S. Army 509th Radio Research Group and NSA operated a radio relay station on Black Widow Mountain in Nui Ba Den. The site was deactivated in 1969. Black Widow Mountain was only accessible by helicopter when weather conditions were favorable. High winds and considerable rain presented a harsh environment for men and equipment. Sergeant First Class May, the only female dancer, South Vietnamese voice analyst in the South Vietnamese Cryptologic Organization. She is pictured at an intercept facility in Saigon. Basic manual Morse students learn to take code with both pencil and typewriter. U.S. Army Security Agency, ASA, PRD-1 teams, 3-man Jeep-mounted units, which carried an AN PRD-1 receiver and antenna, supported Australian forces in Nui Dat Phuothoi province. From 1959 to 1964, the Americans had several thousand military advisors in Vietnam assigned to train and support the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, ARVN, but without a frontline combat mission. A technician supports tactical military operations with signals intercept and direction finding during the Vietnam War. Army of the Republic of Vietnam, ARVN, operators continuously receive training in intercept techniques from the Americans. This technician transcribes a tape of intercept. Military members operate TBO, technical extracts from binary operations to digitize serial binary data streams. Military members operate TBO, technical extracts from binary operations to digitize serial binary data streams. Military members operate TBO, technical extracts from binary operations to digitize serial binary data streams. Intercept equipment, including ComSec equipment, could often be mobile and mounted to trucks, vans, and helicopters. A technician supports tactical military operations with signals intercept during the Cold War. Transcription has been key to successful use of voice intercept. Navy dedicated Morse collection in the Cold War era. The use of Morse code remained a key tactic through the end of the Cold War. A technician transcribes intercept in real time at a field site during the Cold War. Morse intercept at an unknown Army location. The use of Morse code remained a key tactic through the end of the Cold War. Morse intercept at an unknown Army location. The use of Morse code remained a key tactic through the end of the Cold War. In the late 1960s, as awareness of Soviet SIGINT activities in the U.S. government increased, ComSec equipment was developed to provide better telephone security to government offices. A telemetry collection system used to automate field collection. The use of Morse code remained a key tactic through the end of the Cold War. Post-intercept processing continued to improve to quickly and efficiently format and tag traffic. The use of Morse code remained a key tactic through the end of the Cold War. Intercept operators remained a critical component in the translation of manual Morse into computer-ready data. A team works on a semi-automatic data transmission system used to rapidly transmit aircraft tracking reports. During the Cold War, NSA aided in major space collection that provided critical technical signals intelligence to NORAD, U.S. Air Force Space Command, and policy leaders. Equipment needed special configuration to collect non-conventional signals, including analysis, processing, and forwarding of those signals. Radio signals on specific frequency spectrums could be recorded and transferred to an intercept operator to listen as if it were a live frequency. A Navy operator processes technical extracts from binary operations, TBO. NSA provided key SIGINT support during Desert Shield Desert Storm, supplying U.S. and coalition partners with critical intelligence and securing tactical communications on the battlefield. SIGINT was a crucial component for reliable intelligence leading to victory. At each crisis phase, war decision makers in Washington were supported by the cryptologic community. A 33rd Tactical Fighter Wing Intelligence Officer uses the IMOMS, Images Many on Many, to assess radar threats during Operation Desert Storm. A satellite communications station lies in ruins in the aftermath of Operation Desert Storm. Unknown Military Operations, RC-135. The RC-135 aircraft is used by the U.S. Air Force to support intelligence collection and analysis. Unknown military operations, RC-135. The RC-135 aircraft is used by the U.S. Air Force to support intelligence collection and analysis. The Defense Special Missile and Aerospace Center, DEFSMAC, Operations Floor. While most Cold War NSA assets were still devoted to the Soviet threat, other areas and regions around the world began to consume more of the agency's attention in the 1980s. Man at equipment with telegraph Morse key. The Joint Operations Command Center, JOC, in England was approved in 1976 and staffed by both NSA civilians and U.S. Air Force personnel. The Joint Operations Command Center, JOC, in England was approved in 1976 and staffed by both NSA civilians and U.S. Air Force personnel. During the Cold War, manually processing key punch cards was necessary for the production of intelligence. National Security Operations Center, NSOC, Operations Floor. In 1952, the Army Security Agency created the ABNR. It could perform 31 special instructions, computations, and was fitted with paper tape, magnetic tape, and printers. The cryptologic community sponsored projects with IBM, including Harvest, the largest electronic data storage capability in the world at the time, circa 1962. High-speed systems, such as Bogart, were very reliable for high-priority cryptologic work. Centralized computing devices, often used to decrypt messages, increased functional capacities while being faster and smaller than existing machines. Multiprocessing computer systems provided quick turnaround service for users while operating in an environment with remote access capability, circa 1960s. An early model of superfast general-purpose computers used as the control element for equipment development and research. From IBM data processing systems in 1967 to to the CRAY supercomputer in 1976, high computing capability became a necessity for rapid processing and operations.